here. And actually, I heard there are a lot of people here for the first time. Some of you might not know that Cycle for Survival actually started with one person. It was when my late wife Jen was diagnosed with rare cancer. We got a few friends together in a room that was probably about 5% of the size of this. It was tiny. And Jen always said that even if it was too late to help her, she wanted to do everything she possibly could to help other cancer patients. And that's exactly what's happened. Because this event, in a lot of ways, encompasses her personality and her spirit. She loved to dance. She loved to exercise. And I think what that tells us is that each and every one of us has the power within us to make a difference. So I want you to think about that when you're riding. And it's a great honor for me to introduce somebody who's dedicated his entire life to making a difference. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to check out the virtual reality experience in the food and beverage room, where you can take a virtual tour of his lab at Memorial Sloan Kettering. So can we get a huge Cycle for Survival welcome to a doctor who's going to tell us about all the progress we're making happen, Dr. David Solit.
So this is my second year in DC. I think the second year we've had this in DC, and I think it's incredible how this event has grown. I think it's what makes Cycle for Survival special. And so I just want to make a few thank yous. Then I want to talk a bit about the work we do, and just also then give my story of why I ride, not just today, but at other events. So I just want to start off by thanking our corporate partner, Equinox. I think this event really would not be possible if they did not allow us to take over these gyms, did not provide us with one of the best cycle instructors in the world. Like many teams here, we started off in this event 6 years ago with my wife as our team captain. We had 4 people, we had 1 bike. And over the course of the past 6 years, our team has continued to grow year after year. We're now in multiple cities, multiple bikes, probably about 150, 200 people. And I think that's what makes this event so special. It's so inspiring. You come once, you really want to come again, you want to bring other people. And I think Equinox has really allowed us to do that. And I think I need to thank them because it just would not be possible without Equinox. So thank you. So I've now been at Memorial for 19 years. It's my 19th year. I'm both a doctor who sees patients, but I also run a big research program. And what we do in the research program is we try to figure out why people got cancer and what's making their tumor grow now. And the way we do that is we take a piece of their tumor, we get normal cells from the patient, for which we get DNA from, usually from the blood, and we use this new technology called next generation sequencing to analyze those tumors, analyze the blood, see what's different in the tumor than in the normal cells, and what's making those cancers grow. And by learning that information, we can oftentimes target specific mutations within the tumor that then lead to responses we've never seen in particular type of cancers. And I think this has helped probably the most in rare cancers, where it's sometimes very difficult to get a company to focus on those rare cancers. But when we find a mutation, for example, a rare tumor that's found in a common cancer, we sometimes already have a drug we can use to just match it up to the right patient. And I think this has led to a lot of dramatic improvements in the treatment of these patients. And that's really a major thing that Cycle for Survival has been able to find, is been able to offer this technology to patients with these rare cancers. So this is our 6th year, but this got a bit more personal for me as well as my wife. Just about a year and a half ago, when my daughter was diagnosed with a rare cancer. So my daughter Abby was actually working at Sloan Kettering. She was working in the laboratory of my former mentor, trying to maybe beef up the resume a bit before college, and also see if she liked working in a laboratory. When she suddenly developed acute onset abdominal pain and had to be eventually rushed to the emergency room, taken in for surgery, and lo and behold, here's a 17-year-old who has a cancer. And the type of cancer that she had is incredibly rare. We actually had Shannon Miller here this morning, who's had the same type of cancer. It's called a germ cell tumor. we only see this cancer in about 3 or 4 patients a year. Entire hospital, and we're really one of the big referral centers for this kind of cancer. So how do you study something that is this rare? So, I talked to my wife about it. She says, you got to fix this. And I said, well, you got to help. And we came up with a pretty good partnership on this. And so what we are able to offer is a certain technology and experience. But what Barb's been able to do, I think, is somewhat revolutionary, which is to take advantage of things you can do in 2017 that you couldn't do before. So within a few weeks of having been diagnosed with this, or maybe within a few hours probably, she was on the internet trying to learn about this type of cancer. We know that everything on the internet is correct. We never wrong there, never any fake news. And what she learned is that, while Abby was doing well with her treatment, there were lots of girls who weren't. And it was very unclear why some were doing well and some were doing poorly. But one thing that was very clear is that almost in every instance when she met a mom who had this cancer, their doctor, this is the first time they've ever seen this tumor in their career. It's probably the last time they've ever seen this tumor in their career. So we came up with an idea which we call Naked Impact, named after the assay, the genetic assay we run called MSK Impact, where we use the money that we raise on our team called Team Hop to fund an effort to offer free genomic testing, this type of testing we've been doing just at Memorial, to anyone in the world who has Abby's type of cancer. And so the patients send in their tumors, they send in their blood samples, we do the genetic analysis, we report that result back in real time to their doctors and to the patients, and then we help counsel those doctors who maybe have never done this in the past, never treated one of these tumors, on how to treat these tumors better. And I think it really changes the paradigm for how to address a really rare cancer, that we don't have to restrict our efforts or our thinking just to one institution. We can really address these patients anywhere in the world. And just through Barb's efforts, I give her complete credit for this. So I'm not actually doing it on Facebook. So it's almost all done through Facebook, amazingly. We've been able to enroll patients from across the world. Just in the last few weeks, I have a patient from Estonia, patients from Canada, UK, Chile, other parts of Europe. Across the United States, we have a recent 3-year-old who's enrolling in the program for the DC area here. And I just think this type of effort was something that I didn't think people thought was possible. Maybe it wasn't possible a few years ago, but I think it's now possible with the support you guys are giving with Cycle for Survival. And so I would thank everyone here who's riding today. Have a great time. It's an unbelievable thing. If you haven't been here before, I'm sure you're going to want to come back next year. And so thank you.